eSight Eyewear, Testimonial. Presenter, Dr. Anna M. Jurasic. 2014 CNIB Braille Conference.
We're going to have a real-life testimonial here from Hugh. As I mentioned, he's been an eSight user for how long now?
About 20 months.
20 months now. It's already 20 months, wow.
Yeah.
So just to give you a little introduction, Hugh has Stargardt's, and he developed it in your 40s, if I'm not mistaken, right?
20s.
In your 20s, okay.
Yeah, 185, 86.
So you've had it for a while then. And like I said, he was a longtime employee at Bell, and he was first introduced to it as part of this study. And so I'll introduce Hugh if you want to stand up and kind of talk about your story and how eSight's made an impact for you.
Sure. So as Anna said, I met eSight about 20 months ago, 24 months ago, roughly speaking. I had Stargardt's. Before I retired, I worked at Bell as an IT in the IT department as an associate director, working in IT. So I had a scope, a dome, my laptop with Zoom text on it. Basically, it's a reader program. What I found when I met eSight at the CNIB, where I first met the team and did a little demo with them, and then seeing you at your office, is that it's a device that allows me to have. I go from about 2250 to roughly 2030, give or take, the day and what you're doing. It gives me that when I want it. So to me, that's a very, very cool thing that I don't have to have multiple devices with me. So I find that's good. And my colleagues used to test me because I used to have to sit at the front here, and memorize what you're talking about, make my notes if I'm doing a presentation, basically memorize the presentation. So when I was sitting at the back one day, one of my colleagues was writing different numbers. I zoomed in and went, "Hey, what are you doing?" He says, "Oh, you can't see with that from back there, right?" It was a test. So it's true. It gives you the functionality from a visual perspective. And I kind of talked a little bit about in the presentation, the key component to this, from my perspective, is the frame and the head strap is designed to put the weight more on your forehead than on your nose. So once you get used to using it, it's 6 ounces, and that's what this weighs. It connects together magnetically, which is cool, snaps in, and goes on your head.
And you can actually prescribe a person's prescription in the regular part of lenses, which is a first for these kind of devices.
Yeah, my prescription's here. It crisps it up a little bit. We find with some clients that don't have prescription, we put plain lens in. We've also, and we're learning the company, that's what attracted me to the company, to be honest. When I first met them, during the study, they didn't have a manual focus. They had just strictly autofocus. So when I started playing with it, and Jeff in London, who's one of our engineers, when he soldered, because he does a lot of volunteer work, it would try to continue to autofocus and would go out of focus. So we talked to the company, we called them up and said, "Hey, can we do manual focus?" About 2 weeks, they came back. Now the product has 3 focus modes. It has auto, it has manual for close, for near, and manual for far. And you can tweak them, the user can tweak them on the interface just to tweak the focus a little bit better as they like it. So that's neat, because when you're reading your iPhone with the autofocus, it would go past the autofocus sits here, and it would go out of focus. Now what I do is take the iPhone, use the autofocus to get what I like with the zoom, and then lock it in. Same with distance. If you're riding in a car, you can look around, if you look outside, you can set the manual distance focus for 5 or 6 car lengths out, and then as things come into your view, they're already set from a focus perspective, and you can play with the zoom. It allows me to do multiple tasks at home, and when you go out, it's a nice tool. Like Anna said, it's a tool, so you can, put it in the bag, put it in here, take it with you, take it out of the bag, put it on your head, look at a menu, put it away if you don't want to eat with it on. When you're at the mall, you can take it out, put it on, do your grocery shopping, etc. You can look at your anything you're looking at from a close perspective, or read overhead signs.
What has been the feedback of people seeing you at the mall with this? I haven't asked you that.
Various. It's pretty interesting. You get a lot of people are just curious, right? And want to know what it is. And when you talk to them about being digital eyewear for people with low vision, they're kind of shocked to say, "Wow, that's quite a neat device, and how does it work?" Can you explain that? I haven't had really negative feedback, to be perfectly honest. I mean, we had some, Tyler and I, my colleague, were at in Florida at the AFB conference, and we walked into a restaurant, and the receptionists were like,
wearing it?
Yeah, we were both wearing them. We walked in and she's like, what's that? It's kind of like, it's okay, it's electronic eyewear. You wear it through the airport, the security guy's kind of like, is that okay? And you take it off and it goes through the machine and everything. So, yeah, various feedback. We have clients using it at multiple events, going to hockey games, football games, plays. So we've introduced some software changes, just testing them now. So we've got the ability for a user to do manual exposure. So if you're at a play where the lighting continually changes, the eyewear is continually trying to adjust it with the algorithms. And what we've done is we've allowed the user to lock that in, to say, hey, if you want to average that out yourself to give you a little bit, not so much of the light changing all the time, you can set that up. If somebody has, we have one client who we actually tinted the lens 90% because they were so receptive to the light. So when Neil came in, he couldn't demo it because of the light. And we took the lens and we actually tinted him 90% tinted, and now he's using Calgary. The other thing I like about it is the demo process, although it takes an hour to an hour and a half. As somebody coming in to look at low vision products in the past, it's been kind of like, here you go, you trial it and away you go. They really took the time to make sure, hey, I understood what it does for you. And that's critical, I think, to the clients, right? They understand the benefits they get. And then, so they do a baseline, like you said, without eSight, just my glasses, and then they do it with eSight to show you the difference. And then it's basically, and we've had some customers or clients that came in and it just didn't work for them, unfortunately, and they were still interested in buying it, and the company actually recommended that they didn't, which I think, adds value to the company, adds value to what they bring to the table.
CNIB, Seeing Beyond Vision Loss. This video has been made possible thanks to an educational grant from Novartis Pharmaceuticals Canada Incorporated.